This is the book of James, chapter 5. I'm going to begin at verse 1, and it reads, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam, by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rachak, double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of in the other nations, in the land of the other nations appearing like the other nations. In the lands of the other nations appearing like the other nations, but subscribe to this truth to you. I say Shalom. So this is the brother Yahweh out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And basically, this lesson is in regards to an article I seen actually on the news of my news app on my phone. Salakia. Yeah, that's the app. And it reads, U.S. producer price increase in November. So this 4 days old. And it's just going into the inflation. And that's why I came out with, the James chapter 5. When you go into that word corrupt, the word is
Strong's G 4595.
Sapo, and it means to make corrupt, to destroy, to become corrupted, or to become corrupted, or rotten. With this inflation, basically has affected, basically the price of goods are increased, and the scriptures talk about inflation in this time of inflations, the book of Revelation goes into it, when he talks about the penny in the book of Revelation chapter 6. But well, let me just bring out some of this article, Salakia. And it reads, Washington Reuters, U.S. producer prices increased a bit more than expected in November, but the underlying trend in inflation is moderating, which could allow the Federal Reserve to slow its pace of interest rate hikes next week. Although, now this again is a old article, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the week that they were supposed to say if they was going to increase the interest rate or not, by another 75 points, which more than likely they will, you know what I mean? The producer price index for final demand rose 0.3% last month. The Labor Department said on Friday the data for October was revised higher to showing the PPI gaining. Inflation is gradually slowing as supply chains ease and demand for goods ebbs. Which, like I said, the scriptures tell you never to trust thine enemy. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand, this devil is not gonna even I remember it was a joke Cat Williams made. He said BET, the world could be ending and BET gonna still be playing music videos. You know what I mean? So they're not gonna let you know what's truly going on. I mean, why would they? You know what I mean? Like I said, the main thing is you don't want to cause panic. You know what I mean? So they let those that they feel in certain key positions understand what's truly going on. And the thing is this, you got to understand, these people constantly do like these round table meetings and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, why would they wait this long to check the inflation? At a time with inflation this high, they want to do reparations though. And I was listening to a video the brother from GMS Watchman put up, and it was so spiritual because he basically did a video. I don't know who the female, the Jake is a Jake woman. Her name was Dina though, but she was making some statements that were actually true. You know what I mean? Scriptures tell you never trust thy enemy. So you know what I mean? If they give you something that's ultimately to subject you, even if it's like food stamps or Section 8, at the end of the day, you got to go through all these loopholes to get it, and they could take it away from you at any time. It tells you in the scriptures that you're going to go to your oppressor for the one of all things. Majority of our people survived through some kind of system that Esau created. So that's why what's his name, Rothschild made the statement, give me control of a nation's money and I care not who make the laws. The scriptures talk about how a gift destroyeth the heart. You know what I mean? That's why you have so many people corrupted based on this corrupt ass money system. It says, but the shifted spending to services means overall inflation will remain elevated. Right. So they done said two contradictory things. They said it's slowing down, but the shift in spending to services mean overall inflation will remain elevated, meaning it's going to remain high. Esau a damn devil, you know what I mean? Because look at all that wordplay to say that it's still high. So with that being said, it ain't no point even reading this like that. Some of the price person, they said, I guess, in products, the products is cheaper, but in services, you get charged to pay for services. But products is expensive. So, you know what I mean? It says that has left economists. If things weren't expensive like that, you'd have had these companies making record sales. Although they made record sales as far as online, supposedly, but they were saying a lot of like the Black Fridays wasn't like they typically be. That's why Walmart basically didn't order as much stock product rather, as they normally do. And then they trying to use the excuse. They saying basically because crime is up because the inflation is up, everything costs more. So of course crime goes up. They saying that basically because of the fact people stealing, now that's what's going to affect them closing stores, which, basically they going to try to be in control. You're going to have one big store you're going to go be able to get shit from. You ain't gonna be able to go to all these different stores. And if you can't see that, you know what I mean? Businesses went out of business during the lockdown 2 years ago. So if we go on a lockdown or any kind of thing this time, a lot of people gonna be. And then, so you got to take the time to really think about it. This whole reparation, they ain't thought about giving the nigga nothing except for some food stamps. Now they want to give you 300,000. At a time when they trying to push a digital currency, though. It says, excluding the volatile food, energy, and trade services components, producer prices gained 0.3% in November. The so-called core PPI rose. In the 12 months through November, the core PPI advanced 4.9% after increasing 5.4% in October. So the whole point of this lesson, I guess, is going to go into the fact that, inflation increased in the month of November. And you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these retail places, they're open. They don't make their main profit until the end of the year. That's why a lot of places don't do layaways during this time of the year, because they want cash. They don't want you to sit and you know what I mean? Like they want you, they feeling they going to probably sell all the stock they got and all that. So I'm gonna just get some scriptures on basically the corruption of this money, because this money is gonna continue to, basically, inflate, meaning the price of goods gonna continue to become more and more expensive. And the scriptures tell you that. This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I'm reproved. The Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And the vision is going into these prophecies. For the vision is yet for a appointed time, meaning the prophecy, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Meaning, it look like it's starting up, slowing down, starting up, slowing down. Like for instance, the C-hip, or that that MOTB, like literally, people say they can't see it, but then we tell you what the C-hip is or what the MOTB is, and then you got an individual that's talking about putting a device in your hand or your forehead. When you go to Elon Musk, he want to put an actual device in your fucking brain. And if I'm not mistaken, he's saying by next year they actually can do human trials. The scriptures, the prophecy says what? This prophecy basically said, no man will be able to buy or sell, save he had the mark in his hand or his forehead. You already got people that literally got the C-hip, in their hand and think it's cool. It's enough videos that, what they call her, the potato chip girl, and you had the nigga woman up there trying to emulate her. Oh yeah, that's cool. It says, verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And whose soul is lifted up? Who is the proudest person or creation on this planet? This red Hebrew Edomite, the so-called this red Hebrew Edomite, the so-called white man. And it's really not white, but it's red. You know what I mean? Because his blood shows forth through his skin. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who is the individual? Who is the people that's in everybody's else land trying to tell them how to run they land? With all these issues we got going on in this land, though. You know what I mean? You know, I was just listening to something. They was talking about how Obama went to Flint, Michigan, and the people, the residents there thinking that he literally gonna come and help, and they gonna explain to him how the drinking water so fucked up. He made a joke and mocked them. So that's letting you know, you know, you niggas, all you niggas that believe in this nigga that don't even really relate to y'all. You know what I mean? Like, he don't give a fuck about y'all. You know, just like a lot of Jake. I mean, you know, not to digress on that, but it's just like, you know, so if you thinking that, you know, a nigga like that is going to be your savior, you know what I mean? Like a Martin Luther King or some shit like that, like, no, you're going to be sadly mistaken. If you're going to believe in something, you'd be better off believing in the Most High. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Scriptures talk about cursed be the man that trusteth in man. It says, who enlargeth his desire is hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. Who is the individual that, you know, can't be sated with, you know, like I said, you know, the scriptures talk about how the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, allotted everybody their own land. Who is the one that wanted to basically put everybody under subjection? They said Alexander the Great, after he had conquered pretty much everything and he wanted to continue, only reason why he couldn't is because his soldiers refused to continue to keep on, you know, basically trying to conquer. They said he wept, you know what I mean? So who does that fit to a T? It talks about his greed, you know, it's insatiable. But gather unto all nations and heap onto him all people. And when you go into like Antiochus Epiphanes and the Greeks, you know what I mean? How Antiochus Epiphanes wanted everybody to basically worship under what he believed, and you know what I mean? So you really thinking that you're going to have your way of life, but this devil ain't about to let you live the way. Why you think we all indoctrinated under the vibration of America? You know what I mean? He tell you he letting you do your own little thing, but in actuality, he wants you to believe what he wants you to believe. Verse 6, this is the point. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. When you go into that word thick clay, I can't remember the word. I would have to blue letter it, but basically it goes into debts, heavy debts. So this monetary system is, you know, basically it's a debt-based system. You know what I mean? And you should be able to see that when you go to a bank and literally take out a loan. And basically you have to put a collateral up. So if you renege or default on that loan, they take literally your actual collateral, or the asset that you had to put up. Now, mind you, a bank is allowed to operate where they only have to have 10. So put it like this. They could say they have $10 million on the books, but only have $1 million physically in the bank. Then they can go loan money on your money, but then take your actual hardcore. So it's really like a system of witchcraft when you really go into it, you know, because they give you something that's really of no value and getting something of value from it. What else? This is the book of, and based on this system is literally why a lot of people are struggling. Everybody ain't struggling as bad as, you know, everybody, but for the most part, you know, a lot of people struggling, you know what I mean? Like a lot. That's why they talk about the homeless. You know, they was just talking about the new mayor in Los Angeles. Basically, while they doing this reparation shit, they talking about they gonna clean up homelessness. But you better pay attention to that. If they can afford to literally give every black citizen there $300,000, what kind of money you about to put into the homeless situation? And I've been to California. And their homeless situation is, like it's like the Lord really got something going out there. But you really think, you don't know if they're gonna come with a situation like what they was doing in Hawaii with the homeless caps with the fucking robotic dog actually scanning you to see if you got a fever so they can say if you got CV or not. And everybody sat by idly and didn't pay attention to that. That could end up in a city near you at any time. Like these people do got these motherfucking robotic dogs that they just wait to bring out. You know what I mean? Like this is the book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. Because the way this system is set up, you really only exist. You don't really be living it up for real, for the most part. Like, most people are paycheck to paycheck. That's why literally, like they talk about in the UK, you got the gas bills, the energy bills so high up there, and you got people basically trying to do a movement where they talk about they not gonna pay their gas bill. So what you think the gas company gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, what you really think they gonna do? The government and the energy companies be in cahoots. The fuck? You don't think they in cahoots? There's a whole contract with that. You got the government that pay people's energy bills. So like at the end of the day, like this shit go. Let's see how that work out. It's gonna be a lot of violence. It's gonna be a lot of uproars. You know what I mean? You about to come into the winter, and that's why through the spirit we look at it like we haven't had any snow yet. And normally we had snow here by this time. So I don't know. I got a feeling when the Lord bring it, it's gonna be very, very like he gonna make a statement. This motherfucker's taking it for a game, But when that snow come and people can't afford these energy bills, and they children or when children and elderly people are the ones that suffer the most in situations where in bad situations, because either their immune system is not. The immune system is not strong enough. When you older is weaker, and when you young is not it's not where it's supposed to be at. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. Like at the end of the day, when these people really start suffering, these people gonna revolt, and the scriptures tell you that in multiple scriptures. So I mean, with this system that they created. You know what I mean? You could work all day and really like retire with nothing. You've had people that we watched on TV that literally made all this money for these fucking red Hebrew Edomites, but literally died broke. You know what I mean? And I can name a few fucking people off the top of my head. Like they was talking about Louis Armstrong. Supposed to be the father of the trumpet and blues and whatnot. But he died broke. He had to go to an Edomite that basically treated him like a child to get anything of his money. Red Fox, and the list go on and on and on and on. But because this is an oppressive ass system. People don't think that you in slavery, but you a debt slave now. I'm gonna end it with this. Is in the book of Revelations. Because of this inflation, it talks about how, it's going to take a day's wages to literally be able to buy you a meal. And, that ain't far-fetched because if you are going shopping, you can see your brother just showed that. Literally, you showed what's those the little strawberry shortcakes, the little Debbie snacks. They used to be 50 cents. I remember when they was quarter. That's how old I am. They used to be a quarter. He showed one in the group chat. It was $1. The inflation, right? That's the spirit. This won't even play. So yeah. I'm gonna get it out of a different Bible. Book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 6. And it reads, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou not hurt the oil and the wine." And when you go into that penny goes into the word denarius. And basically that was a day's pay for a Roman soldier. So when it goes into, a measure of wheat for a penny, it's talking about the bread, the food. Well, it's gonna cost you a day's wages to eat. That's how bad the inflation gonna get here. Because again, when you go into the way and how you know the system works, and just when you go into history, every fiat currency that was actually in place always fails, and America uses a fiat currency. So that's why we come to the times we in times where you got to be basically just stay prayed up. We in dark evil days. You know what I mean? That's what scriptures talk about. They shall cast their silver and gold in the streets, because you know what I mean. At the end of the day, if the money ain't of a value, you know what I mean. And it depends. I mean, you can have all the money, but if a person ain't actually willing to barter for that, because the only reason why we can use money is because that's what they say is the currency. You know what I mean? Like, but real money is gold and silver. That's where you could take anywhere on the planet and be able to utilize that. So, Salakia, for all the digression, if you or so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, this is the time to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, who people ignorantly call Jesus, God and Jesus Christ, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh meaning he is or he exists. Ba'Hashem meaning in the name. Yahushua meaning he saves or he is the deliverer. Because like I said, people say, it don't matter what you call on him or call on, but a name is very important. You know what I mean? Like how you gonna be intimate with anybody? How you gonna have a relationship with anybody you don't even know their name? Like the fuck? But some people just go by what the scriptures talk about. How you gonna have people coming in as sheep, but are really ravenous wolves. You got people that literally, you don't think the scriptures talk about how people are gonna sell people out at the end of days, to fill their own bellies. You're gonna have a lot of people just like throwing people under the bus because of the fact of the system that they, about to put in place. So, with that all being said, your only covering is Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Rachakodesh V'Katam. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Aqua, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to the truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, I will come with another lesson. So say shalom, shalom, and mawat, shalom.